We've already looked at Mintel, but let's explore some other options for consumer and marketing data. Let's start with Statista, which is probably the easiest database to use. Searching here is straightforward, but be aware that you will probably want to use the geographic filter to limit your search results to the US, and also remember that Statista gets some of its information from other sources, so always check to see the source for a given chart. If the source is not Statista itself, there's often a link which will sometimes take you to a whole report on the subject, which can provide context and additional data. There's information here about ice cream, social media engagement, e-commerce, and more. Simmons Insights also has data on consumer behaviors and attitudes. We might choose to look at who buys groceries online, for example, or see which consumers use which social media platforms, or who's most likely to identify as vegan. There are several different kinds of reports available, but let's start with an easy one, like a demographic profile. At the top, under Profile, choose Quick Reports. Then click here to go to the Composer, where you can select the data you're interested in. Survey questions and answers are organized into categories here, but you can also search for data here. I'll enter vegan and hit return. I see there are questions and/or answers that use the word vegan in the health and beauty aids category. If I open this category, I see a subcategory for eating habits/diet control. If I open that, I see that the survey respondents could select options to indicate that they consider themselves to be semi-vegetarian, vegetarian, or vegan. I could just select vegan, but in this case, I'm going to select all the options. Now, I click Add at the bottom, which moves my selections to the next pane over, where I will select Add to Targets. Then I click Create at the lower right, and then select Demographics from the options that appear. Now I can see 3 different demographic breakdowns, one for each of the options. I see here that vegans are only about 1% of the population. Of that 1%, twice as many identify as female as male, and more than half of them are either over 55 or between 25 and 34. Now, it's also possible to combine everyone who chose any one of the 3 answers. If we go back to the Composer and follow the same steps to get to the 3 plant-based eating options in the survey, we can choose them all again, but this time we can select OR at the bottom before we click Add. This says, show me everyone who said that they consider themselves to be semi-vegetarian or vegan. We can select Target again, then Create. Now we have a 4th option on the demographics page that combines the other 3 groups together. This database takes some getting used to, but there's great information here about consumer preferences and behaviors, so it's worth the learning curve. See video 4 for advice about searching for business news and articles.